Welcome.
Attention, please.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome to the No Comfort Zone podcast. It's time to get out of your comfort zone and live on purpose. Broadcasting to the world from Rockford, Illinois. This is your wake-up call.
Warning.
You are the solutions to all your problems. Stop thinking average. Become the hero version of yourself. Every day, every time, without fail, no exceptions. It all matters. You've entered the No Comfort Zone. It's time for a reality check.
What's happening in your fun-filled and exciting life? This is Dan, the No Comfort Zone guy. I am currently catching back up with you after a little while. I've actually taken a little bit of a break. And basically the reason I took the break is actually I'm going through redoing all of my goals and literally wanted to take this time to focus specifically on where do I want the next 2 months to go? Where do I want the next 6 months to go? In a year from now, where am I going to be at? And I'm putting all of these intentions into one place. And while I'm doing this and while I'm kind of getting off the grid for a minute, man, this podcast is growing. I'm like blown away at how many people are actually starting to listen and how fast it's growing. And that's kind of cool. So thank you for that. If you could please help me out. If you're listening to this podcast, please do a like, do a subscribe, do a review for me. Hopefully a 5-star review with a comment would be phenomenal. So other great people like yourselves who are trying to get out of adversity or trying to crush their goals, either one, you pretty much use the same formula in case you haven't figured that out now. But what you end up doing is helping a lot of people find me. So that would be great because in the end, I just want to help as many people as I can get out of their comfort zone and live on purpose. I'm currently driving into work right now and it's November in the Midwest, going from Rockford to Crystal Lake. And all of the farmers are digging up I drive a back road and all their farmers are digging up the earth. And I'm driving in and I'm just riding over a bunch of rumble strips and, the stuff that they pulled out of the ground and threw into their trucks. And then it was all over the road. So sorry for that distraction again. Remember, this podcast is all about me being real, relevant, and raw, really authentic, really genuine, very transparent. So that's why I really don't edit it too much. I might take out a little ims and ahs in there. But in the end, this podcast is to help you get out of adversity and go towards your goals. So currently, I'm jotting down my goals again because this blueprint, I'm in it every single day. And I just realized, am I living to my potential? And I'm not. And it's funny, each day my potential gets greater. That's what I want for you. So I have had, in the last 24 hours, three different people have reached out to me at 3 different stages in their life. One person's life is at the point where his name's Todd, and he's sitting in he's in northern Wisconsin, and he's deer hunting right now. He's sitting in his deer stand, and he sent me a picture of where he was at. And now Todd, to me, is he's like the poster child for the No Comfort Zone. Guy gets up at like 3:30 in the morning every morning to go work out. He's got a great job. He sells heavy equipment to the masses and heavy equipment machinery to the masses. Just a great guy. I met him when we were in car sales for a minute, and just a dynamite human being, and has been supportive, has been encouraging, and quite frankly, he's one of these guys in my life that have motivated me to do this podcast or get myself out there and basically make myself aware to the greater masses, because he's the one that encouraged me that I could probably help a lot of people and live in my passion. So Todd, thank you very much. Todd's living his life right now the way he wants to. Great job. Deer hunting, living the life, and the guy's been through some major adversity. He just is always proactive, heart of gold, nicest guy in the world, would give you the shirt off of his back and then some. And part of the reason is his problems. He's been that guy. He didn't say no to the right. He said he didn't say no to the right people. And those people, some of them took advantage of him. But the guy's not whining and complaining about it. You know what he's doing? He's living his life, sitting in a deer stand, doing what he loves best to do. So Todd, shout out to you, and thank you very much for listening. There's another guy out there that is another Todd from my past who reached out to me yesterday, and it was great to hear from him. Todd's out in California, and Todd's a phenomenal car guy. He's really smart. He definitely knows people, he knows leadership, he knows sales process. He's a really good car guy. And Todd currently is on his own terms, decided to take a break from the retail automobile industry. And we were reflecting on things last night, and it was great to catch up with him. And Todd's one of those guys who, whatever he decides to do, he's going to crush it, because when he puts his laser-like focus on a target, he'll just get it. That's just who he is. And then there's another guy that I know, his name is Jim, and Jim is involved in one of those reality situations where, everything's going great in his life and things are going really well. Then all of a sudden, bam, the employer says, hey, we're going to make a change, right? And they kind of controlled his future. But Jim also decided, you know what? You're not going to control my future. I'm going to make a change. And because he has such good skills, he's decided to make his own moves and his own changes, and he's not going to left into a reactive state. He took a really bad situation and decided to become proactive about it, and now his new destiny is unfolding before him. And why do I mention these three people? Because these three people have had an influence on me in my life. I would say if I go back, let's say 15 years ago when I was in California, the second Todd and I were hanging out. We're having a good time. I was partying pretty good. I think I was at the top of my skill set with my game, but I took it all for granted, and I was drinking way too much, and I was also feeling sorry for myself because I was going through a divorce. So I decided to run out to California. And what I ended up doing was I ended up meeting some great people. Todd and I are originally from the Midwest. We reconnected out there, and we became friends. Todd reached out to me and said, hey, Dan, your lifestyle, you probably should take it down a notch. I don't know if you're going to survive. And a couple of guys back then had told me that you need to kind of curtail what you're doing because you're not going to be around. You're just going too hard. You're living life way too full, and you're not living life the right way. And it was kind of a crazy move on his part because it was almost arrogant when he said it to me, and I realized it came from a place of nothing but care. And so Todd, let's say that second Todd, that was a really big impact back then. Now I've got another Todd in my life. This is about maybe 10 years ago. 10 years ago, Todd reaches out to me and he goes, man, we started working together. Great guy. We got along really well, and his ambition. And I just wanted to connect with this guy because he's just such a great human being. And we did, and I learned a lot of stuff from him, and I think he learned some stuff from me, and he's crushing it in his current occupation. And I would like to say that some of the things that maybe he learned from me, but I want to be humble enough to realize that the guy's just got a great work ethic and really good at what he does to begin with. And then this Jim, the last one, I worked with him roughly, I want to say about maybe 12 years ago we started, and here's a great guy who'd been through some major adversity. At a young age, he lost his wife due to cancer, regrettably. She was a wonderful human being. I knew her. And it was really sad to see him and his family go through that when she passed away to breast cancer. But Jim maintained being a dad, being a man, and taking care of business. And his employers came down on him pretty hard, unbelievably so, and made life worse for him. And here's a guy who rose to the occasion and nothing but mad respect for him. And why do I bring this up? Because in one of the podcasts that I had mentioned too that sometimes you just got to say no to people. You have to say no to the right people. Some of those people in your life, you just got to disconnect from. But these three guys I'm talking about right now, these are the three guys that, if it were to hit the fan, right? And in America, it's like, anyway, I'm supposed to keep it clean, but if the shit were to hit the fan, these are the guys that you would call because they would be there for you. And that's what you really need in your life. So when you start to realize that you're helping more and more people and you're actually starting to become a greater version of yourself, you're going to need to readjust your goals because greater things are going to be coming your way, and greater things are coming your way, and that includes greater problems. So you need to make sure you have the right people in your lineup. You need to make sure that you're in alignment with people that have good character, good integrity, and you surround yourself with these people. I've said it before that whoever you surround yourself with, those five people are going to, basically the average of those 5 people is where you're going to go in your life. You hang around a bunch of bums, you're going to be a bum. You hang around a bunch of great affluent people, you're going to become a great affluent person. And these people that I'm hanging around, and it's more than 5 now, they all have great character, they have great work ethic, they're great family people. And it's because of this I can look at my own life and realize that I have the chance now, because of people that I have that are supportive, that are good, that'll tell me really what time it is, that I can create a better version of myself because I have their support. So the whole point of this is, surround yourself with the right people. choose the right people carefully on their integrity, their character, their work ethic, the persons that you want to be. And in each one of these people, they have qualities that I admire and would like to possess. And not in a jealous sort of a way, just I'd like to grow into those certain, that certain aspect of that person. And I know if I do that, I'll become a greater version of myself. So what I really wish for you and want for you is I really want you to go to the blueprint. I want you to go put your email in. Let's get connected. You could even email me, Dan at the No Comfort Zone. Tell me what I need to talk about in this podcast. Tell me what your problems are and what you need help with. I know I have a solution. And even if I have to email you back and let you know that, hey, here's part of the blueprint, whatever I can do to get you going, to start that momentum, that inertia, as Todd told me last night, that inertia to keep going in the right direction, just a little bit of that will go such a long way. And it might be something just as simple as that. Something as simple as for you to say, you know what, I am worthwhile. I am worthy of these goals, and I am surrounded by the right people. Now it's just go for it. Let's put a plan together, get it in place, and let's make sure we get you out of your comfort zone so you can start living on purpose.
Say goodbye.
Want more of the No Comfort Zone? You can follow Dan on Instagram and Twitter at No Comfort Zone 1.
Bye.
Or on the web at thenocomfortzone.com.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the No Comfort Zone podcast.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.